state of the realm by association. So I can say good afternoon, gentlemen, because I know it's gentlemen of the press. All right? Yeah, I'd like to welcome you to my small house, and like the presenter had said to you, I have my friend flanked to my immediate right, who is also a colleague in the struggle in the APC River State. She's read out my CV, a bit of it. I don't think we should go down that way. Should we? No. All right. Okay. So I think the essence for this meeting is for us to keep, getting the people, Nigerians, abreast with what happened, what transpired in River State during the last, or the just concluded general elections in Nigeria. I'm talking about the Rivers experience, if you like. And we are doing that so profoundly and profusely because we believe that truth must be told, and that when somebody does a thing that is good, you acknowledge. That is what it is. It is a standard everywhere. That good begets good, evil begets evil. And so when you say to a person that has done good, that is my tradition, it's a proverb in my place. When you say you have done well, the person has a spirit. The person will be wounded to do more. So that is what we believe, and where a place where I come from. I'm a typical Ikwere man, I'm not an ordinary Ikwere man. I'm a high chief, very well classified. And so there has been plenty of arguments, especially immediately after the victory of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Siwaju Ijagaban, particularly coming from the Rivers angle. And some of the stories that are coming, in fact, even yesterday I listened to channels, I saw the candidates of APC for governorship, engaging in non-sequitur rounds. And I had told myself that at some point one will just stop and allow Nigerians to see what it is. But when lies fester, okay, when lies go unchallenged, right? What happens is that it is construed to be true. I give you an instance. If you are seated here with me and I say you're a thief, and you don't respond to counter what I have said, you have consented to it, right? That is the law. Okay? I could have said so if you were not there. Nobody was. But if you were here, as all of us are seated here, I just point to myself, you're a thief. I don't say anything. The rest of us will believe that you're a thief. So also in my tradition, I say when a lizard lives plenty times and plenty years inside the forest, when you see it, it's construed to be an alligator. Because by this lizard, it's been living inside the bush for a long time. So the truth of the matter of what happened in River State is that neither Magnus, who is laying claim to entitlement and playing any role at all for the victory of Tinubu in River State, nor my former boss, Right Honorable Amaechi. When I say my former boss, he was governor. He appointed me chief of staff. I was in charge of his political desk. Of course, if you know the role of a chief of staff, you know that I was not a small man in government. There was anybody who knew any other thing else, including how the governor and his private life, more like, at least within the confines of the government, and it was me. I was both in charge of a political desk. I was also the person that was galvanizing and harnessing every other thing for government. So that you should know very well, the role of a chief of staff. Not be my mind. Okay, so neither my former boss nor Magnus played any role whatsoever. In fact, the roles they played were roles of rejection. They rejected Tinubu completely. And for them now to come to attempt to reap where they did not sow, it is preposterous. It's against common sense and reasoning. In nature does not allow that kind of thing. That you want to go and reap where you didn't sow. In fact, even nature even says to you that even when you have sown, that you cannot sow cassava and reap maize. But in this case, they never sowed. So how would you now, having not sown, you want to reap from the sweat of others who volunteered themselves and went to the bloodless wars? In fact, even in this case, it's not even bloodless. If you know the Nigerian system, you could just go there and won't come back. And then, if you're a man, your wife becomes a widow. Your children will become fatherless. So that's it. Now we have gone for the blood come back from the war. I won't even say bloodless anymore, because some people died in the process, you know so. And we have won. And those who never took part are coming to jump in and out and say that they did this and they did that. So that's our major concern, that we must tell the truth. Because if you allow their lies to fester, they may derail, they may deceive the people with their tissues of lies. And we are here to always say no. Reason we say no is that if they take what does not belong to them, they would also not know those who supported or who made that victory possible. They will appropriate it to themselves and to those who supported them. I think, give you an example. Magnus left the APC and ported to a party called SDP. He didn't only port to that party called SDP. He was a candidate, governorship candidate of the same party in Rivers State. You and I are aware that SDP had a presidential candidate. There was no collaboration between SDP and APC. There was no accord between APC and SDP vis-a-vis the presidential election and tickets. No. One Oluwole or something was very frontal in SDP, campaigning everywhere, very sound. I listened to him on television many times. It was very sound. Okay? Tinubu was campaigning for APC. And they all went to the election. So there was no point where they said, okay, we are coalescing in one to work together. So Magnus, being a candidate of the SDP in Rivers State, necessarily made him the leader of SDP in Rivers State. True or false? Now, could he have, as leader of SDP, in a party that had a presidential candidate, could he have left that course to begin to champion Tinubu's own cause? Wouldn't that be the highest level, height of antipathy? So these are facts that are just elementary. But when people want to attempt to skew rules and tell all manner of lies, I just feel like jumping down from this place and maybe get my legs fractured. You know. So that's the same. Now on the side of, I can tell you a little more of Magnus, so that when you also see certain things, you will know that I was able to correlate the two. Now, when APC in Rivers State started very robustly in 2014, APC was formed in Nigeria in 2013. When we got into APC in Rivers State from SDP, from PDP, we were all in PDP. Because from 1998 till today, PDP had won Rivers State back to back, all elections. So one can properly say that Rivers State is PDP, PDP is Rivers State. Since 1998, that is the truth. rest people there, you can also make your investigations. Amaechi brought his surrogate, he brought a protege in the person of Tinubu to be the candidate. So Magnus was completely out of it. You know. So I didn't know that he still had the intention, he was still not seeing the ambition of governorship. Otherwise, having our man taking the rostrum, as a word, taking the rostrum, should have been enough hope for us to remain. Because we were very sure that Tinubu was going to win. And if Tinubu won, there was nobody in this world called from River State that would say he would take the first share before Magnus. That was it. But my friend, on his own, there was no pressure again from party. No pressure again from party. It was not those days that they were flogging us and beating us. No. The pressures have all been removed by Tinubu's emergence. But my friend on his own opted to join another political party. He wrote a letter officially resigning from the APC and announcing that he had joined the SDP. But you know how some of us felt bad when we investigated was that even while we were doing what we were doing, he didn't have faith in a Tinubu winning election. So he had designated somebody who was his placeholder, who bought the only form for governorship from SDP. So when he joined the SDP, it was very easy for him to get the ticket from his placeholder. So he went to SDP. Having gone to SDP, everything that we used to do, talk about Tinubu, go to campaign about Tinubu, he couldn't do anymore. And he took a chunk of our own group. I told you that APC was divided. Amaechi's group, our own group. Now he had also taken a chunk of our own group members to another party called SDP. So what remained in APC was almost like rebels, which I led. And so we gave ourselves a name. Because we were also scared to use the name APC. But we gave ourselves a name. We gave ourselves amalgamation of Tinubu, support groups for Tinubu and Shetima in APC Rivers. So it was the name we were using to gather. If you don't get name, how do you gather? So we designed this nomenclature for ourselves and used it. It was this nomenclature that gave me and some of us the opportunity to go around. If you know Rivers, you have over 15 radio stations. There was none of the stations that I didn't visit with minimum of 3 times. Because at that point, we were very aggressive. You know, we were so scared. And so we needed to appeal to the consciences of our people. I'm talking about radio acting. I'm not talking about television now. If you can one day, I think I'll do a documentary and put out these pictures. You will talk about that. We'll put out these pictures so that the world will see and know who is blackmailing who. You know, when I hear about, calumny, I say, look, leave the word calumny. Don't sound too high. The word calumny is lies told about or against somebody just to malign the person, to blackmail the person. Is it not? Leave the word calumny. You know, they use them so that you don't deceive people. Just say a lie told to undo somebody. Now, what is a lie? Is it a lie that Magnus didn't go to SDP? Is it a lie? Are you not aware? Hello? You're not aware? You're not aware that he was governorship candidate of SDP? Okay. You're not aware that Tinubu was of APC? So you're not aware that there is no relationship between SDP and APC? So what is a lie when you say these things? What is a lie? To make matters worse, in his own unit, there are 2 voting units in his home. You know, when you do some of these things, you have to be very careful. There are 2 polling units in his home, his father's house. When I say his home, I'm not talking about his village, his father's house. 2, Abe 1 and Abe 2. Those 2 units were delivered to SDP against APC, Tinubu. His ward is called Ward 16. It's called Bera. That's the name of his village. Was named another ward. Ward 16, Bera. In that Ward 16, SDP was delivered not APC. So the question is, at what point did you not support him? Is it at the point when we were all running around before the convention or after the convention? Okay, take it. I concede to him. Before the convention, we were all running around because we were thinking that the election for the presidency, presidential candidate would have been by direct primaries, where all the states will vote. Right? Now, I'll give you a typical example. We are doing 100 meters race. All right? The referee calls all of us to be on our mat and gives us the instruction and say, go. Right? We move. Halfway, you will fall away. I'm worried. Am I talking to myself alone? No. Halfway, you fall by the wayside. Maybe you had muscle pull, or you felt that you didn't take off the same time the others have taken off, and then you don't conclude. The others run to the end. And when they run to the end, you that stopped on the way will now come back again and say, yeah, give me the trophy. Is it done that way? Hello? No. Is it done that way? No. You dropped. These people completed. And you run now that the referee say, okay, it doesn't. You now come, say, yeah, give me the trophy. No, the man who got there, who had the breast of the tape first, gets the trophy. I get them before on a property. Hello? I did this, I did that. But when it mattered most, you abandoned the man mid-sea. When the man needed you, mid-sea, you abandoned, you rejected. That, of course, says to the fact that you never believed in that cause at all. If you believe, look at you, all of us here, you believe in a cause that this thing will work, will you leave it? It's only a mad person, knowing that this thing will work, and you're pursuing it, and almost at the verge of seeing it work, you leave it. I can't see a sane person doing that. Okay, in Amaechi's own case, so that I summarize, you ask your questions, was that immediately after the primaries, Amaechi was the first runner-up, you know, Abi? And after Tinubu, he came second. Now, the next other day, if you followed the political developments, you find out, you know that Tinubu started visiting with all the presidential aspirants, including those that scored 0. I didn't step down, but they scored 0. He visited with them one after the other at their various residences. Amaechi was one of those that he visited to appeal to them, gentlemen and ladies. You have thrown your cap into the rings, which means you have the dream to be president. Now that I have emerged, can we all put all of those together and work together? Some agreed. Amaechi refused to agree. Amaechi became implacable. All right? So from that day, well, I know that, well, I think they have told you that I was national chairman of Protocol and Logistics Committee. I was also a member of PCC. It was the first one, the Logistics and Protocol, gave me ample opportunity to travel. I traversed 16 states whilst we were campaigning. I was in 16 states. All right? Now, Amaechi attended 2. He was in Jos, flag off. The other one was in Yola, Adamawa. Jos, I have explained to people, was our flag off. The governor was his friend. The governor, Tulalong, was the DG. So he needed to show face. President was coming. So there was this penchant to do eye service. The other one he attended was in Adamawa, when the rumor was very rife that he had fraternity with Atiku. So he needed to douse that by saying, okay, if I have any relationship with Atiku, why did I go to campaign in his state? Again, the president was coming there. So those are the 2 states. In the one of Rivers State, he didn't attend. He didn't. His own state. I have to tell you how bitter he was. Tony Cole, who was a candidate, who necessarily became the chairman of or the coordinator of PCC in Rivers State, never ever convened a meeting of PCC in Rivers State until I struck. Called the press like this and took him to the cleaners. 2 days later, he called the meeting and did wishy-washy things and all that. And never ever did we have, under the aegis of PCC in Rivers State, even ordinary poster, or billboard, or Akonade now, they call on, or whilst he was campaigning in 23 LGS for him to be governor, he never ever mentioned his presidential candidate. So what are they laying claim to? Amaechi formally announced 2 days to the election. He called his team, his proteges. Of course, his first lieutenant in the circumstance will be the governorship candidate. All right? And those who followed him, he called them to a meeting and decreed that they should go down the nooks and crannies of a 319 wards of 23 LGS that made up Rivers State to campaign, telling them that they should vote for Atiku. In his entire LGA called Ikwere, it was only in his own ward, his own polling unit in Ubima, Ward 8, that PDP won. His own, that's where he voted. The rest, APC. Okay, so from where are they laying claim now? You ran away. Eh? You ran away. At the time the food done, if they come say you do this, where, how? So those are the issues, gentlemen. Maybe your questions might, it's a long gist, yeah? Maybe your questions